In the meantime, my name is Jeremy. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't. But my background quick, because I've been in real estate for 20 years, been a coach for a long time, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Claritynow. So we excited to be here with you guys. My co-founder, the guy who built the software, is Mr. Janita Bermudez. JB, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
And then Autumn Henning is our customer success manager, and she does a phenomenal job with all of our customers. Cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to show you guys quickly Claritynow really fast because we have a lot of customers here, but also a lot of people that registered that aren't customers. So we're going to give a really quick overview of what Claritynow is in case you don't know. And then we're going to go over in detail how to do the integration, how to set it up, what works, some things to avoid doing for common mistakes that people might make. We'll go over deals, we'll go over lead gen, and then we'll go over, again, Claritynow again at the end. Let me get started here. I'm going to share my screen. So for those of you that don't know, this is Claritynow. So what's cool about this is as 20 years in the business, one thing that I realized is that selling real estate and being a business owner are really entirely different skill sets. Right? So we don't teach you guys how to sell real estate and how to talk to clients. We trust that you guys are great with that. And a lot of people use spreadsheets to run their business, and their spreadsheets break and the reporting stinks on it. They don't know what to track. So we handle all of that stuff for you guys. The couple of things I'll show you really, really fast, again, for those of you that are new to us, that separates us apart from other services is one, our economic model. I won't go through this in detail now, but what's really cool about our economic model is it works for everybody, whether you own a team, you're on a team, or you're an individual agent. But it's the only goal calculator that's out there in our industry that starts with what do you want to net? As a coach, I've always felt what's most important is hitting a net income goal for you and your family and not just chasing a units volume or GCI goal and having net profit be an afterthought. So in our system, you type in net profit, you go through an algorithm and a bunch of questions, and then we tell you based on your net, here's what your production needs to be. This is a big goal for this one, so ignore that. The second part of the system that's worth showing, and I'll go over this in more detail at the end too, after we get through the integration, is this goal gap feature. What's so cool about this goal gap is it tells you how many days you have left to sell and to take listings to hit your goal based on the economic model, and therefore tells you specifically based on where you're at, what your gap is, and what you got to do in the next 7 days to stay on track to hit the goal. So this is, think about it like the airplane auto-correcting itself 1,000 times in midair to get you to the destination. I find as a coach, what a lot of agents do is they set a goal, they work for 6 months, they never see where they're at compared to their goal, and therefore what they have to do to hit the goal and what they have to do in the next week or 2 weeks to stay on track, and then end up missing the goal by a lot. So this goal gap is really designed to keep you on track to hit the goal each week. And on top of that, when you have all the data in here, there's all kinds of reporting. There's CEO summary reports, there's leaderboards that you can run for yourself, there's conversion reports. And one thing we're also really proud about is the fact that we have a P&L. Most agents, they really struggle in having a profit and loss in their business because they're hard to build. So in Claritynow, every single one of our users has a P&L based in the system based on real estate. Now, this is all great. And none of the reporting and the goal gap, and none of that means anything if you don't have data in the system, right? That's the key, is you have to get the transactions in the system. There's 2 ways to do it. Every time you sell a house, you click on new and you fill out a form, which is fine. It's not a big task. It does take a couple of minutes, but it's not a big task. Or you can do a follow-up boss integration. And this is about doing a follow-up boss integration and how to get the data into the system. So I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to let JB take over since he's the one that built it. And JB, why don't you show them to start just how to set up the integration?
That sounds great. Thanks, Jeremy. So
You're
to
welcome.
get started with your integration, it's really simple. So when you go into your Claritynow portal, you'll just go to your dashboard. And in the top section here, there's a little cog wheel. And this is our tools, integrations. These are like additional helping things for your account. So here in your integration section, you'll go to the follow-up boss integration, you'll launch that. And then this just gives you the overview of what the integration is, how it works, how do you connect it. So this gives you a step-by-step detailed of what it is, how it works, what information comes over from Follow Up Boss. And so to start integration, you just click this button here. And then the first thing you have to do is you need to get an API key from Follow Up Boss. And to do that, you would just go to your Follow Up Boss dashboard here. Then you click on the admin section and then scroll down to integrations. And there's an API keys and lead email. You click there and then there's a create API key. So what you do here is you create that and then you name it. We usually suggest naming it Claritynow. For this demo, I'm going to name it webinar. This is specifically so that you know what this API key is. So you create this key, your key is generated, you copy that, and then you go over to this integration section here, paste that key in, and then you save it. So now it's successfully saved. You'll get this following prompt, which is the complete integration. Now, what this does is that it adds the webhooks, which are hooks that are built into Follow Up Boss that come directly to us anytime that any data is added to your Follow Up Boss. So anytime a deal is created, it sends an event to our system, which stores in the database. And then every minute, our database runs those jobs to then pull that information into your portal. What it also does is, once we complete this here, I'll show you. What it also does is it creates Claritynow custom fields. So now these fields are specific to us. It's just additional information that our system requires that, and we don't actually require everything in here, but it is very helpful if you just, when you're creating a deal, to fill out this information. Your next step after creating the integration is to go to your settings. Here is where you will set up your, this is basically your syncing of all your sections within Follow Up Boss to Claritynow. This first section here is the deals that are automatically synced. So if you click yes or no to any of these sections, what happens is that these will, anything that is a yes will automatically get brought into our system. So this is on buyer and seller side. So this is whatever, however you have Follow Up Boss created. So these are the deal stages. And then however you have it set up, when you click yes or no, that's what will be synced over automatically.
So JB, on that, so if you go to your Follow Up Boss, let's
Yep.
say that I run my real estate business, but I want to have my deals be, we wrote an offer, or we're out showing homes, or I changed the name of my deals, like customize my deals on the buyer or seller side. That's what you're referencing, correct?
That's correct. So these sections here, so we can create new pipelines, which buyers and sellers, which is this section here, buyers and sellers. So this all this information comes over from Follow Up Boss. So if I were to add a pipeline here and say pre-market, we'll save that pipeline, and then we'll add a stage. Let me think. Appointment set. So we'll make that blue. So now this section will then, if we reload the page here in the settings, we now have that pre-market pipeline and appointment set section here. So basically any way that you customize deals within Fub, you can then, in the Claritynow Fub settings, you can then automatically sync those deals if you'd like to, or you can unsync them. So if you have a very extensive deal tracking system and you only want your pendings and closed to show, you could then turn off all of your other sections from there, and then it will only sync those sections.
Very cool.
So then the next section here is deal stages. So this is the mapping of your synced deals. So any of these sections up here, we have very specific statuses in Claritynow, right? So we have listings, transaction statuses, and pipeline statuses. So in this section here, what you're able to do is then map these directly to ours. So say you have multiple sections in Fub that in our system actually kind of mean the same thing. You can map those. So as you see here, I have buyer contracts, offers, and pending, all under pending, and closed under closed.
But going back to, let's say JB, that I have a status on sellers and in Fub that says coming soon, or in staging or something, right? I customize my deals in Fub. On the right hand side, I then say whatever the stage is on Fub, I want it to go to this section in Claritynow. I want it to go to coming soon or listing taken or whatever.
That's correct. Yep. So then what that will do is that it will automatically map those deals to that status within Clarity Now.
Perfect. So
And
do
then
you guys, so all you got to do is set up the integration. You can customize your deals in Fub however you want. And then here in the setting is where you're communicating where do you want the deals to show up in Clarity Now. So very simple, very easy, and totally customizable for however you use your Fub.
correct. Now on to daily tracking mapping. So daily tracking is a section in our system where you track all of your daily events. So your dials, your contacts, listing appointments, and so on. In this section here, we pull in over any of the Fub appointment types, which are created and managed in the calendar. So within here, any appointment that is set in Follow Up Boss with that specific type that you create, the appointment type here will then be automatically mapped to our daily tracking. So you can, however many appointment types that you have within Follow Up Boss, we can then track those within here. In this section, we also pull in our custom, your custom tracking.
So
What's
do me
that?
a favor, click on new within daily tracking. For those of you that don't know what this is or haven't explored this yet, if you are a current customer, the daily tracking is where you're going to track your activities, okay? Which will then generate conversion reports and a lot of other information that's important to know. The top half of this screen, from hours lead generated all the way down to offers written, that's all the standard stuff that comes in the system, the basics, if you will, right? Appointment set, signed, etc. However, JB, hit cancel for me. The one thing that we built in Clarity Now is, again, our background in real estate, we realize that people run different types of businesses. So some people, they build a big business on social media. Some they do it through open houses or door knocking or anything, right? So if you click on new category within Clarity Now, we give you the ability to type in a new custom category and track whatever the heck you desire. Some people, I've even seen them use it for their operations team, where they'll track the number of times we asked for a referral or the number of referrals that we received. Or some teams, this is kind of funny, but it's a fun way to use this, is let's say that I have a team and together we're all committed to lose weight and go to the gym more. They'll actually put in a custom category for went to the gym, and now they can have a leaderboard for their whole team on their health. Right. So literally you can track anything and everything you want to within Clarity Now. And what's cool about this, and JB, go back to how to map it, is whatever you track, click on new again for me.
In here?
The top right, daily tracking. All of your custom categories are down below. But the way that we built this too, and I'm kind of going ahead a little bit, but I think it's cool. JB, show them leaderboards. If you go to reports and you click on leaderboards, the system is going to come with one static leaderboard, which is a sales leaderboard at the very top, right? Which is just those closed units and total volume. Obviously, you can import your pictures and make it a little more presentable with photos in there, but it's going to come with one static leaderboard for everybody. But click on add leaderboard, JB. We give you the ability in Clarity Now to create a leaderboard on any metric in the system, including your custom categories. So no matter what you want to track, you then can create a leaderboard for it. And then you can expand it onto a TV and so forth. So JB, go back and show them again how to map it, specifically the daily tracking.
So daily tracking. So like I said before, any appointment type that comes from Follow Up Boss, you can then automatically track to any of the daily tracking within Clarity Now. So even if you say you have a custom category within Follow Up Boss that you have here in your deals or in your appointments, you can then actually add that within daily tracking and then map that in this section, and those will also automatically come over. So now let's create a deal. So
JB,
within yes,
how long does it take for the daily tracking to sync with Follow Up Boss? Is that instantly?
every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, daily tracking is updated. So, obviously we don't want to do it every minute because you could be on calls all day long, and then that just would bog down both systems. So what we do is that we do it in 5 minute increments, and we go in, we get all of your daily tracking information from Follow Up Boss and automatically sync it to our system.
So if you're testing this at home and I enter something in the calendar and Follow Up Boss and I go to daily tracking and I say it's not there yet, give it 5 minutes. It'll pull over in 5 minutes.
Yep. So now let's create a deal here. So we'll create an offer. We'll name this Jeremy's offer. We'll add a price of 270,000. We'll have a close date of the 30th. One thing in Follow Up Boss 2, I don't know if anybody's noticed, is that you have to be sure to click this checkbox. Otherwise, the information doesn't actually get stored in the field. So just make sure you guys are always checking that checkbox. Jeremy will just say that you have a percent of 3%. We'll add a person. So we'll say that this is me. And then in the Claritynow custom fields, you can go in and add these dates and fields here. So we'll just say it's a resale, contract date, expiration date, target MLS date, listing date,
Now,
sale
JB
type.
showing these options. Obviously, in this example, these are the custom fields that come over. Now we're putting in an offer stage. So in an offer stage, we wouldn't have an expiration date or a listing date or a target MLS date. So JB, you can back that.
You would not have to put that information in. I just like to fill it in all the way.
Yep.
And then so you guys can see everything here. So then we'll say this is a buyer, since we are in the buyer's pipeline. And I did see that I didn't save these ones here. See the checkbox? Forgot to do the checkbox. So the sale type we'll say is a buyer, and the Claritynow status, this you can actually ignore. If you'd like to, or you can add it yourself as well. This is a kind of a legacy Claritynow custom field that you can manually put in, or it automatically gets put in to the system wherever you'd like. So I'm going to ignore that, and then we'll create the deal. So we have that deal here. And then over in here, let me just make sure that it was been processed. So like I said, it happens every minute. So it could take, depending on when you create the deal, it's every minute on the hour. So we have about 20 seconds until it actually comes over and is processed.
May I ask a question while we're waiting?
Sure, Jen, what's up?
Real quick, do we have to start it in Follow Up Boss? I was starting it in Clarity 1, and then the numbers were getting messed up going over. So does it work? Do we start the deal in Follow Up Boss?
It's a two-way actually. So I was going to show you that you can do it from Claritynow to Follow Up Boss as well.
Okay.
Okay. So this deal
to Claritynow.
Yes. So this is from Follow Up Boss to Claritynow. So now you can see that in your Follow Up Boss integration, that there is an incomplete transaction. It is incomplete because there is a cost of sale section in Claritynow that can't be pulled over from Follow Up Boss because they don't have that information, but we use that information on our side. You'll also notice that this bell starts blinking. And that's because you get a notification that Claritynow has created a Fub for you, and it's been updated, has updated the transaction from Fub. So every day you can go in, check your notifications, you can see that deal, and you can click directly on that deal. From here, what you would do is that you would then go in. Actually, let me show you here as well. I think it's a pending transaction, right?
I don't think you actually called it pending when you pulled it up.
No, it should be automatic based on offer.
Oh.
Yep. So here's that one. So you'll see there's some missing information here, which then you will obviously go in here and you'll edit that transaction and you'll pull in that information. So you'll see there's a client name, information, and then the address. So the reason why we don't pull over his address is because in Follow Up Boss, a contact can have multiple addresses. So our system would not be able to know based on a deal which address is to put into the system. So that's one of the things that you have to do manually. But we do have this search Fub feature here where you can, search your contacts. So I'll just say Janito. You can view that contact, and then you'll be able to add the address to it. I don't have any addresses in here, as you can see. But you can then go in and add that whatever address from that contact in there as well. So I'll just put 123 Main Street, and then we'll just say it's a database and it's a agent referral. So you'll see that the sale price has been pulled in automatically, 270,000, and the commission. So this is the cost of sales section. This is really the meat of what needs to be updated in each of these transactions once they are brought over from Follow Up Boss. So you need to add all of your cost of sale information. So whose sale is it? So we'll just say it's Liam's. Are you paying a referral fee? yes, 3%. And then you all add,
JB, do,
sorry?
JB, do 25% referral fee there if you would.
5, okay, yep. And then in this section here, this is how all of your team members are given their compensation throughout the system. So we'll say, right, this is Liam's and he is getting 100%.
Or JB,
Then,
do 50% there if you would.
okay, so 50%. And then there's a member cap, royalty, and then their total commission for each person added to the transaction.
Yeah. So what's cool about this, JB, go ahead and click on add member. Let's say in this deal, I run a real estate team. Liam's the agent. Liam's making 50%, but then I also have Fiona is making 5% for something. She was a showing assistant or something. And then maybe if I click on add member again, I have the next person, Gary. Gary's making $250 for something. Maybe he, doesn't really matter in this case. What I'm showing here is you can break out this commission however you choose to. So one of the cool things about Claritynow is you can really manipulate the commission data however you need to, whether it's a percentage amount or whether it's a flat fee. So as you scroll down here, I can see that my total commission is the $8,100. My cost of sale, which is my referral fee and all of my agent splits above, is $56.16, and the gross profit for the company is $24.83. Now, Fub obviously doesn't keep track of all the commission splits and all the different details, which is why people use Claritynow, is because of the detailed information. So the benefit of the integration is obviously outside of the daily tracking is when you go to enter a transaction, we already have the date, we already have the client name. If you go from Claritynow to Fub, you can search the addresses in Claritynow by searching the Fub database and selecting an address. Or if you're going to go from Fub to Claritynow, then you got to enter the address on this end and then enter the commission. So you go from entering 100% of the form to entering 25% of the form. Then if you were to hit submit down below, the transaction's no longer incomplete and we're done. And you also have the ability to update the Fub deal.
Yep. So you can, it's reversed as well. So anytime that you create or update a transaction, so we'll find that Main Street. So this is that transaction that we were just working on. Anytime that a transaction in Claritynow is connected to a follow-up boss deal in Fub, you can actually see that by this tag here, Fub deal. So what this does is that this pulls in a sidebar so you can see all of the information from follow-up boss that came over to our system. I'm sorry.
So setting up the integration, super simple, right? Mapping it is up to you, completely customized with however you do your deals and your stages within Fub. And then once the integration comes over, you just need to enter the address and enter the cost of sales. And that's basically all you have to do. So Laura, go ahead, JB. Do you have a question? Do you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, sorry.
I was going to add about beyond that, but that's fine.
Okay. Yes, Laura?
So I have a question. So I've had access to Clarity for about 13 weeks now. Of course, I'm still playing with it. I have access through my coaching. So can I go ahead and integrate Clarity now to my follow-up boss, or how would that work? Because I get it through my coach.
You should have your individual account, so you should be able to integrate your Claritynow account to your Fub.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, good news. Okay, JB, anything else to add on the integration?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to deep dive into this thing, so we can keep going. Yep. All right. So the integration will not pull over any deals that were created before you implemented it. So if you need to if you would like to pull over all of your deals from Follow-Up Boss, it is a little bit of a manual process, but we've built in some tools for that. So for an example, if you have manually created a transaction within Claritynow and you need to connect that to a deal that's already created in Follow-Up Boss, all you need to do is go in and edit the transaction. So any transaction, and you'll now see that you have this integration. There's a little Follow-Up Boss button up here for each transaction. You can either find a deal or you can create a new deal. So if the deal is not created in Follow-Up Boss yet, you can create it directly from here, or you can find a deal. So you can go into your pipelines. You can choose whatever Follow-Up Boss pipeline it is. So we'll go to buyers, and then you can actually connect those deals. So I'll just add this one. I'll just connect this deal to it. So from now on, anytime that I need to update the transaction from either our end or the deal from Follow-Up Boss, that syncing will now happen to this specific one. What also we have is at the top of the section here, you'll see this little icon here. This is your integrations specific icon here. And then you'll see there's a follow-up boss integration. Within here, there's a sidebar. And what's really cool about this is that we pull over all these different sections from from follow-up boss. So the integration takes you directly to the follow-up boss integration in our section, in our system. You can actually see and search all of your contacts within follow-up boss. And then within those, there's another layer. You can view that person, and there's a little actions button, and you can create a pipeline, listing, or transaction directly from a contact. You can also see all of your specific leads in here, and then tasks. So, you know, anytime that you have a task within follow-up boss, you can create those, you can see those while you're working in Claritynow. And what's really cool about this, a good idea, is that anytime that you know, add a deal, within follow-up boss, maybe you add a task to say complete cost of sale on Claritynow. So that now when you're over in Clarity, you can see all of your tasks and see if they're completed or not. And then deals, right? This is really where within here is where you can see all of your deals based on your pipeline. So if you do a buyer pipeline, it'll pull in all of the information. So here's Jeremy's offer, actions. So you can create a listing or transaction specifically from deals in Claritynow. So you don't even actually have to, if you've already created a bunch of deals, this is for all of your past deals. You can go in here, you can look at all your deals, you can click on this, and then you say create a transaction. And then it will actually ask you if you want to pull in the address information from follow-up boss, and you can select which address. It'll have a list of addresses if that contact has an address, and then you could just click add address myself, and then you can continue on filling out the rest of this information.
JB, thanks for showing that. Honestly, I always forget that you can
sure.
hit the button and bring all of your past deals that way. And
Yeah,
the ability to search your contacts is really, really cool too. So I forgot that we were going to go over that. I love that.
Yep. So then in here, right, as soon as you click pending, you'll see that your where'd it go? Oh, sale price did not come in. Sale price, I thought it came in, but it does not. So you can go through through this whole section here, and then create that transaction, and it will be connected directly to the deal from Follow Boss as well. So there's multiple ways of getting the old deals into Claritynow. There's a manual way. We've also given you the tools to be able to view those and to, you know, integrate those into our system as well. I think that's it for the tools that people are usually, this is a big one that I think a lot of people miss, that there is this ability here with the follow-up boss integration to sidebar.
You're totally right. Yeah, I think you're spot on that. I forget it too. Okay, wonderful. I think this is great. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, the integration itself is very simple to set up. It's completely customized with your Fub, and we bring over the majority of the data. You just got to put in the cost of sales. JB, I'm going to take over your screen again here quick. Replace current share. That works, right? You see mine now? So what's cool about this is, again, once we have the data in the system, then the rest of the reports are useful. So for example, let's say I have a team and I want to look at my agent production report. I can look at a listing taken report. I can look at a sales report or a closings report for my whole team or each individual team member by the year or specific timeline. One thing that I like to look at, I'm actually going to switch accounts real quick. Let me show you an account that's got some fun data in it.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you're sharing your screen.
Am I not sharing my screen? I got the green line around it. Let me do it again.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So in reports, where I just was agent production report. Now that you guys can see that again, I can look at a listings taken report. I can see a sales report, a closings report, again, by each team member or for the whole company. One thing I like to look at is a team member report, and I can see how many closings and pendings a specific team member has, what their average sales price is per month, how much money they've made, etc. In addition to that, all the lead gen and conversion reports are now here. I can see the listing side of the business, the buy side of the business, my dials to contacts, which again pulls over from Fub, and then all my custom tracking sources are here. One report that I look at all the time that I give you guys is the best practice is in the CEO summary report, there's a drop down here. Now, one thing that's really cool is we're actually going to be launching a new version of this, version 3 of Claritynow, within hopefully about a month or so. It's going to have a little bit of a different feel to it. But for right now, there's a drop-down report. One report that I look at all the time is called this projected net profit report. What's so cool about this is that I can see my pending gross profit from the transactions in the system, my closed gross profit, how much is my total gross profit, how much I said I'd spend per month on my business plan. Therefore, this is a column I look at all the time. What is my estimated net profit for future months? It's a great way to manage your cash flow. In addition to that, the last thing, again, that I really look at all the time is the P&L. I think the P&L is a really, really important tool. And all this data is pulling over from the transactions, all the listing income, your cost of sales. If I wanted to do my expenses, we do have a command, a QuickBooks API, or you can click on financials and type into individual line items for your business. But when I look at this P&L, I can see a month over month or for the entire year. I can see everything by dollar amount or percentage of total revenue, a breakdown of all of my expenses per category, and also a visual component as well. And what's neat about the way we have this built, if I go back into my demo account here, is I have an account for my primary business. But if you have a team, every single one of your team members is going to have their own full feature Claritynow account. So if I want to coach someone on my team, I just go to my observatory, and here's all of my team members. So if I want to coach Fiona, I jump into Fiona's Claritynow account. I'm now inside her portal, where I can see that her goal is to net $150,000, which based on the economic model, she's got to do 53 units. I can see her goal gap, how much time she has left and what she has to do in the next 7 days to stay on track. And I can check all of her own conversion reports and her cash flow, etc. So you have access to all this in the team functionality. One thing to point out with teams, we get this question often, is the way that we built out transactions is, I'm going to go back into this here. Let me go to a pending. And let's say that I'm going to look at this one transaction here. Let's do this one. We'll do Fiona's. So again, this is a demo account, so some of the data may be funny. But the way that we do transactions is that this is Fiona's sale and Fiona's making 35% in this case. Because she is mentioned as being compensated, that's what makes this transaction show up in her portal. So your agents will not be able to enter listings and they will not be able to enter transactions on their own because they'll almost always screw it up. So if you have a team, start with the primary account, integrate it to Fub, and let all the deals flow through to the primary account. And when you start labeling your agents as being compensated, that's what allows that transaction to show up on Fiona's portal. So it goes out to them. The other question we get a lot is, can Fiona see all the numbers of the entire business or just hers? It's just hers. So she only sees her business because she is a business owner too. She just happens to work on your team. So all these reports are now specific to Fiona. Her lead source report, her conversions, her goal gap, her daily tracking, etc. It's all specific to Fiona. Main thing is activate your Claritynow account, do the Fub integration, and then start getting the data in the system. And now all this reporting comes to life without you having to do anything else other than get the data in. If you're a current customer, we love you. If you're seeing us for the first time, which some of you guys are, and a lot of people watching the recording will be, we do have a coupon code for you guys. If you guys want to sign up and give us a shot, which we would love that opportunity. If you go to our website, which is www.claritynowre.com, and click sign up on the top right, I'm going to put in the coupon code here in the chat box, but it's CNOW30, CNOW30. And that's all capitalized, by the way, CNOW30. That'll give you guys 30 days for free. So if you're a new customer, go to the website, CNOW30, try us out, 30 days for free, and you guys will have access to Claritynow. Any other last questions here before we jump off?
I actually have in addition to what you were talking about with the team functionality. So the Follow Up Boss integration does work with teams as well. So if you have your teams in Follow Up Boss, you have them all add their integration on their side in any of the follow-up boss settings that you do in Clarity Now will fall down to each team member as well. So anytime that somebody actually updates a deal or transaction in follow-up boss, it will actually update those deals and those deals within Clarity Now as well. So everything will go to the Rainmaker, obviously, as listings and transactions are created, and then will automatically come down to and then again with the daily tracking, that is agent based. So each agent, if you put in your integration, that information will come to you automatically.
Love it. Kathy, I see your question. Yes, we'll send this recording off to everybody who registered for it. And what also is cool is we're going to take some of the clips of it and have it be a great knowledge base for you guys too. So if you guys have questions moving forward, we'll have great resources for you guys and how to do this in detail. Yes, Laura?
Jeremy, so I'm in integrations now. I don't see it there yet. Is it going to be populated at some point in the integrations within Fub?
Email Autumn and she'll take a look at your account to see if it's something specific. Or JB, do you have a different question?
She's in follow-up boss specifically. So follow-up boss integrations is actually something different. So that's something that would be embedded into your follow-up boss.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, because
Right.
I
So
like I see a whole bunch of integrations.
Yep.
Okay.
That's on our side. Yep.
No worries. Appreciate you.
JB, thank you for understanding the question. Laura, I'm sorry. JB is smarter than me. That's why he's a technical one. All right, guys. Anybody else have any other questions? Awesome. Thank you for being here. And we've put a lot of energy and time into this. The good news is we do listen to our customers and what you guys want. Leaderboards came from you guys. We got a lot of great features around the corner too. So as you see version 3 launch in the next month or so, I think you guys will be excited about that. And we got some really exciting things between now and the end of the year, and obviously beyond that as well. So please do us a favor, tell your friends. The way to help any company is to help spread the word. So if you guys have friends that you think could benefit as well, please let them know. And if you aren't a customer yet, coupon code CNOW30, get 30 days for free.
Hey, Jeremy, it's
Jen.
Jen again. Yeah. So I have my team in here under team. When I go to observatory, there's nothing there.
I'll show you.
And I'm on the pro package. Is it which subscription do I have to have?
No, I'll show you that really fast. It's a good question. So
Okay,
you're
thank you.
here on your team, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So, team members is who will appear in those drop downs. So when I go to transactions and I clicked on the compensation stuff or whose sale is it, this is all pulling from your team members. In order to have people show up in the observatory, you want them to become team users. So what you'll do is you'll click on invite user, click on your team members, which is pulling from the list up above, click on your team members, and then say, I want this person to have an agent account. Now, if you're on a Pro or Business Plus, there's a per seat charge. I think it's only $10. So if you click on agent, hit invite, you're now inviting them to have their very own Clarity Now account that's specific to them, but linked to yours. The other really cool thing, and thank you for bringing this up, Jen. The other really cool thing is within users, you can click on new user and type in someone's name, like your admin or your coach or whoever. Like for example, in our business, our CPA has access to my wife's account. Click on their name, type in their email, and you want to give them edit or viewer access, right? So I'll give my admin edit access or my coach viewer access. One thing to note is the way that we built the system and kind of our hearts behind this too is we want this to be an affordable product that everyone has. So we only charge for agent seats. We do not charge for adding editors or viewers. So only if you want to add like a whole portal to somebody is do we charge an additional seat. So you can add an editor or a viewer like your coach, type in their name, their email, call them their coach, hit invite, and now your coach will have access to all of your business as well through their Clarity Now account that they're not even paying for because you gave them viewer access for free.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jeremy.
This is where you want to be. You're welcome. Good question. So again, team members, this is just the drop downs. If someone leaves your team, just make them inactive. So you don't got to see their name anymore. That also shows up, by the way, in reporting. So if I go to agent production report, there's a question here is, are they an active member? Yes or no? So if it's, I want to see everybody, I can click on no and only see my inactive members, or say yes, and just show me the actives. We leave it there so I can still go get the data on someone's number of sales that may have left the team. So just know members is active, yes or no. Cool. Jen, thank you for the question. Anybody
You're
else? We're out of here. Enjoy your Wednesday. Happy hump day.